Okay, so I'm just doing a quick video of the Pop Culture Shock 3rd scale Scorpion in the classic outfit. It's based on the classic outfit that was in Mortal Kombat 9, but obviously based on the first game as well, just a more updated version of it. It's a pretty big statue. I took it out of the box and I couldn't believe how big it was. With the base, it's 30 inches. I was a little bit worried about the damages that could have happened. The spear on some of them has arrived snapped off in the box because it's not been properly protected when packaged. It just kind of lays there. So in the unlikely event that I would sell it, I would wrap it up and everything and make sure it's secure. I don't think I'll be selling this though, because it is absolutely phenomenal. It's taken a long time to get here. Fortunately, I didn't actually pre-order. I bought someone else's pre-order on eBay, and I've waited about 3 months since I paid the final deposit and the shipping. They finally sent it out. A lot of people complain about Pop Culture Shock and how long it takes for an item to arrive. Now, I can understand people's frustration, especially if they've waited 2.5 years for this. That is why any future items from Pop Culture Shock, I think I'll wait until it's either about to be released or it's been out and just get it on the secondary market. The price might be higher, but I can kind of understand why people lose interest. One thing that Pop Culture Shock added while they were QCing was the blood spatter, which looks really, really good. At least in my opinion it does anyway. Let's just zoom in. Really, really cool. So I'm using my phone camera here, so it's a bit pants. All over the sash. I'm not sure if they added extra blood spatter to the shin guards, but it's very, very well done. People also complaining about the neck looking like a giraffe. Don't have this problem at all, because you get so much fabric around the neck, you can bunch it up to your liking, and this is quite adjustable. So when these were first shipping out from Pop Culture Australia, not the same company, but they're a seller, a lot of people were complaining that the costume, that this V is too high. Now, you can adjust it and put it down. Around the back here, it's kind of sewn, both parts are sewn onto here, down here, but you can put it down, and then you've got the sash which kind of has Velcro on it, and you can just pop this underneath it. Occasionally comes undone, but it's pretty good. I think the costume looks really nice. Another thing people are complaining about is the shape of the head, and yeah, I can kind of see where people are coming from. The mask, the balaclava fits a bit too tightly. You can't really pull it round, it just comes back again because it's so elasticated. But overall, I think it looks pretty decent. It doesn't quite match the prototype, but I think they've done a pretty superb job. And it's just huge. I just can't believe how big. I mean, if I was going to put it into scale now with some other collectibles in my video game sort of area, so it's gone a bit blurry, you can see how massive it is compared to a quarter scale Link. And then even down there, I've got my First for Figures, sorry, finger in the way, First for Figures Ganondorf and Metroid Samus light suit version. And they are tiny compared to this thing, and they're not small statues either. And obviously you've got the light up base, which is a nice touch. The paintwork is pretty decent. The only thing I don't really like is how they've used some kind of putty, or they've used something to keep the chain in place in the hand, and it just looks, it just looks a bit crap, if I'm honest. But you're not really going to be looking at the statue from the side, so I think it's not a huge deal. It doesn't really matter. You've got the veins, which are a nice blue texture coming through the massive, very nicely sculpted arms. And obviously you've got the exchange head as well. I'm just going to pop the head on and I'll be back with a different view of the statue. So I've now put the skull head on, and honestly it looks a bit goofy, but then I always thought that the character looked a bit goofy anyway when he took his mask off and did the whole toasty bit. What else can I say about it really? I mean, videos and pictures don't do it justice. Let's go in a bit closer to the skull. I mean, the skull doesn't look bad. It's a pretty nicely sculpted skull, and the light up eyes are pretty cool. Even the neck, it looks pretty decent all around. It just looks a bit goofy on a ninja costume, really. So I actually tend to have it laying next to his feet, and with the plug hidden, so it just looks like a decapitated skull. Final thing, the chain is made of metal, but the actual spear, I think, is polystone, and that's what's been arriving broken in the box. A few more little details to talk about. The arm plates, or gauntlets, are polystone with mixed media buckles, straps and buckles, and the same goes for the legs. Sorry, it's a bit difficult to show it all off. I'll try and get around the back here. Just about see there, going up the leg. So yeah, nice details, and it's heavy. The base isn't. The base is really, really light actually, but the statue itself is pretty heavy. I'm hoping that the base can take the weight of the statue over time. So yeah, there's my quick overview of the statue. Limited to 250. This is number 188. I've got a certificate of authenticity somewhere as well. Looks like I've misplaced that somewhere. Yeah, great statue. Oh no, here it is, I've just found it. So 188 of 250, signed by Jerry Macaluso, president of Pop Culture Shock. Guy's been getting a lot of flack lately. Some of the comments he's made, I can kind of see why he gets so frustrated. I mean, collectors these days they can be so over the top, and they can take things so small and twist them, make them so dramatic. So I can kind of see his frustration. He does need to sort of rein it in a little bit sometimes. But overall, I think he cares about what he produces, and I think that often shows in the final product. So thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you. Bye.